Mike Owens with Inside Fighting here, and it's always a pleasure to be joined by Jared Gordon, who returns to action next month. Jared, always a pleasure, my man. How are things at you today?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you for asking. How are your emotions ahead of your return?
How are my emotions, you
How
said?
are your emotions ahead of your return?
I feel good. Feeling great. Fight's a fight. I'm ready. Been training real hard and, you know, kind of have a chip on my shoulder
Hmm.
for a few different reasons. But
Talk me through them.
yeah, I mean, well, my last fight, uh, another fight where I thought I won and a lot of other people thought I won and somehow didn't get the W. So it was clear that I won at least two of those rounds. With Nasrat. Great fight. He
Hmm.
put on a fight as well, and but I thought I won that fight. Uh, so but that's just the way it goes, unfortunately. And uh, I'm grateful for being able to do what I do, and my life is amazing. So I don't really have much to complain about.
When you come off a fight like the last fight against Nasrat Haqparast on the decision, which most people feel like you deserve to win, and I know that you feel like you deserve to win, when you go into the next camp, do you make any changes to kind of to sway that, or to maybe is there any changes that you make in preparation when you come off a decision
I
like that?
mean, yeah, like get the finish,
Yeah.
so it doesn't have to go to the judges. But I mean, yes and no because I did what I had to do in that fight, and you know, I thought I won. So, and like like you said, and I said, a lot of other people thought I won as well. So, or most other people thought I won. So it's like, do I change what I'm doing when I'm winning these fights? I mean, yeah, finishing the fight is the best way to go. So,
Mm.
I mean, to have that mentality, I guess, is a little more pertinent right now. Like, get the finish, or just be completely dominant where there could be no, swaying of the judges. So no, but like as far as technique and what I'm doing, yeah, I'm always evolving and trying to change and learning new things. So, but that's to, even if I were to had gotten those W's, it would be the same thing. So,
Is there a mentality shift at all? Like, do you go into this fight feeling a little bit different?
no, because I don't want to be, emotional. You don't want to fight
Mm.
emotional.
Of course.
So, but definitely, with more of a mindset of let's make sure we get the job done
Mm.
and not let some judges who clearly don't know what they're looking at uh, take what I worked so hard for.
We'll be back to the video in just a second, but first, the NFL season is coming to an end. We've got the conference championship games coming up this weekend. Whether or not your team is in the big game does not matter because Inside Fighting has a way to get you guys closer to all the action. And right now, we've partnered up with our friends over at DraftKings, an official partner of the NFL. And if you're a new DraftKings customer, go download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, bet $5, you'll receive $200 of bonus bets instantly, all by using our promo code Inside Fighting at signup. You can use those bonus bets on same game parlays, or if sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry about it. Just go play DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports and get in on the action there. Again, the conference championship games are coming up this weekend, and if you want to get closer to all the action, go download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, bet $5, get $200 of bonus bets instantly, only if you use our promo code Inside Fighting on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. The crown is yours.
Well, you'll be facing Kaue Fernandes next time out in a couple of weeks' time. First and foremost, I was kind of surprised when I saw this matchup. Were you surprised when you were given this next name?
I mean, the thing is like I'm not ranked, so does it really matter who I fight outside of the top 15? I don't think so.
Hmm.
So it didn't really surprise me. I figured I would have gotten more of a veteran, but seems like a tough fighter. Everyone's good in the UFC, but I don't really outside of top 15. It's like I don't think it really matters.
Mm.
Just all that really matters is getting the W. So I don't really care who it is, honestly.
I think he's only got a couple of fights in the UFC. I think he's 1-1 if memory serves. What have you been able to see from him in terms of a scouting report as you get ready for this next
Yeah,
one?
he won one fight. He won in like 15 seconds,
Mm.
and the other fight he lost was a split decision loss in Brazil. So I thought really it was more of like a unanimous decision. He lost to Mark D. Casey. It's kind of a boring fight, but he's definitely has some skills. Comes from a good camp. I fought them twice already. Andre Pederneiras is his head coach. I fought Hakan Diaz and Leo Santos from there. So, tough camp, and I'm expecting and training for the toughest fight of my life, because that's what you got to do with every fight, right? So,
So
not
his
looking
head
past him, that's for sure.
so his head coach has more than likely watched tape on your previous fights multiple times, getting other fighters ready for this, and now he's more than likely going through this a third time. Is that a disadvantage in some ways? I mean, you can't pick who you fight, you can't pick who people are coached by, but this guy's got a lot of tape study on you, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, he's cornered against me twice, and he's definitely watched tape on me. So I don't think so, because if you watch me fight, you know what I'm. It's not like I'm coming with some, you know, unorthodox style where it's like, you know what I'm going to do.
Mm.
So, I mean, I don't think it's not that much of a puzzle. Um, so yeah, maybe like they could try to change some things, figure me out. But I mean, that's any camp, anyone that's a coach, and I've been in UFC. This is my 16th UFC fight, so you know who I am and what I'm going to do. So I don't think it matters how many times you fall me or not.
Yeah. The reason why I mentioned the surprise I had by the matchup was what you've just mentioned there about the difference in experience. I mean, this will be your 16th fight and your opponent's third in the UFC. How important do you think your experience in the UFC will be to getting victory in this one?
Yeah, I think it makes a big difference for sure. This is my fifth time fighting at the Apex. Going through all the motions, all the staff members. I think his one fight was in the UAE and the other one was in Brazil. So
Mm.
completely different crew of UFC staff members, different continents that have different staff members, different way of doing things, the Apex, Vegas. So I think, yeah, of course there's experience there, but a fight's a fight, anything can happen. And that's what I'm training for. I'm training for the best fighter that I'm going to go against. So I got to do what I got to do and just get the job done. And that's what will happen.
What do you feel is on the other side of a win in a couple of weeks' time? Because as I mentioned, there's no ranking up for grabs on this one. I mean, the lightweight division should probably go to ranking 20 or 25, given the depth of it. But what do you feel like a win over Fernandez does for you at 155?
I think I got to go out there and make like not a statement, but I got to have a great fight, and get a finish or something. And I think that will definitely, give me a bigger name. Could be someone ranked. I think when you look at like my last 5 fights, and now this one will be my last 6, I should be on a 6. When I win this fight, I'll be on like a 6-fight winning streak,
Mm.
and be 9 out of my last 11 fights. So I don't know, maybe a short notice against a ranked opponent. So I'm just leaving it up to God, and I have faith something good will happen. So
The word short
we'll see what
notice
happens.
segues nicely into my next section because I have to get your thoughts on what happened last weekend in your division with the lightweight title up for grabs. Renato Moicano stepping in on just over a day's notice. What did you make of
Yeah,
the fight and the whole situation?
I mean, he was obviously ready to fight already,
Hmm.
so it's not like he was coming off the couch. But Islam is not Benil, and I figured that it would go a little longer,
Hmm.
but I've rolled with Islam before, and he's got a great squeeze in Darce. So, am I surprised? No, not really. That's a lot of emotions. Oh, I'm getting a title shot on 12 hours notice. Like, that's a lot. And good on him. He stepped up to the plate, got a shot, made a bunch of money. So, but I mean, I was expecting Islam to win. I thought Islam was gonna, if he fought Arman, I thought he would beat Arman as well. So, am I surprised? No. But I thought Renato would have done or gone a little longer. But that's how it goes, man.
Mm.
You get caught in a sub by someone like Islam, you're probably gonna tap. So that's just how it is, man.
I always think it's interesting getting the opinions of fighters in the weight class of the number one pound for pound fighter. So if you take Styles out of it for a second, and you look at Islam Makhachev's game, because he's been imperious since that Adriano Martins fight 7-8 years ago. What would you feel like would be the keys to implementing a game plan to have success and ultimately defeat a fighter like Islam Makhachev?
I mean, you gotta stop the takedown, and you gotta wear him out. We saw what Volkanovski did. Granted, Islam, I think, was sick or something like that, all the way in Australia. There's a lot that goes into play there, a lot of variables. But we saw with Dustin too. Dustin did a great job, brought him into the 5th round, but he was getting taken down, so he was losing those rounds. And it's like, you got to really wear on him. I think you got to hurt him. You have to. It can't be like, once he gets the momentum, then it's game over for you. I think if you hurt him early and stuff a few takedowns, it can really change the tide of the fight. But that goes with everyone. But he's so proficient in every discipline that you got to be on your P's and Q's, and you have to be perfect. It's got to be a perfect fight for you to get a win over a guy like Islam.
Yeah, 100%. The last time we spoke was in Manchester, if you remember correctly, because you were in town to watch your good friend Belal Muhammad fight for and ultimately win the UFC welterweight title. So we never had the chance to catch up post-fight, but I've got to get your thoughts on how your emotions after seeing Belal win that world title.
I mean, he was so locked in. I was there when he did his workout morning of the fight, and I knew he was going to win. And I think I said to you, you'll be surprised with the stand-up.
Yeah.
I mean, he was hurting him on the feet, walking him down. And, I mean, the wrestling was just on another level. So, but that's what I was expecting, man. Complete dominance, and that's what he did. And Belal's a workhorse. He's a workhorse, and he's very skilled in every area. So it's like in Islam. It's like fighting Islam. He's so skilled in every area. Only thing that he's lacking a little bit is his submissions. He's not finishing guys with submissions, but he's doing everything else for them. So, and he's not a knockout guy, but he knows how to win fights. He knows how to score points, win rounds, and win fights, and he doesn't let off the gas. So that's like a really hard opponent to fight, man.
Yeah,
you got to take him out in order to beat him. So, but that's what I was expecting.
The phrase you used in Manchester, if I remember correctly, was he's going to melt him. I think that was the phrase that you used, and I think that Belal over the last 6 months has been a real good example of the fickleness of MMA fans, because Belal's had such a hard time off the fan base for so long. He wins the world title, and now everybody starts to give him his respect and tell him how good he is. Have you noticed maybe the turn that some fans have made towards Belal?
Well, I mean, you can't deny him anymore.
Yes.
Look at the guys that he's beaten the last few years. The best guys ever in the weight class. So, I mean, how do you deny him? And then what he did to Leon, it's not like it was like a boring fight. He went to Manchester and beat him in his hometown.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like some split decision in like Abu Dhabi. He was fighting in, in what would be more of like his, Muslim country or something like that. And he was the champion, and he won by split decision. He went and beat the champion in his hometown dominantly. And Leon Edwards is a very, very, very high level fighter. So can't deny him. And he's funny, bro. Kid's funny. He's American, he's westernized. It's not like he's so like he gets it, people get him. He comes from Chicago. He comes from the hood in Chicago. It's like, how could you be mad at him? Well, you don't like his style because, everyone called Usman boring too, right? They called him Snoozman or whatever.
Yeah.
Now he's considered one of the greatest welterweights of all time. So it's like, you got to give the guy his flowers.
Yeah.
Cannot
100%.
deny him any longer, and that's what's happened. So.
Yeah. 100%. Last topic I want to bring you onto before we finish, because I saw the fantastic series you did on your Instagram. I think it was a 2-part series you put up of 2 separate videos where you asked a series of fighters, Aljamain Sterling, Yusuf Zalal, Jalen Turner, Cutman Tate, all about a mental health series. So is the plan, first and foremost, where was the impetus for that, and is the plans to roll that out any further? Because I thought that was a fantastic little piece of content you put out.
Yeah, that's always been my thing, is obviously addiction and mental health stuff. So, but yeah, there will be more of that. And yeah, I think that's like the most important thing now is like mental health, like especially for fighters. There's so many things that go on in a fighter's life that it's like, how do you keep your cool when you're under pressure or when something bad happens? How do you stay stable, And I think it's especially for men, we don't want to talk about our feelings and what we're going through. So, but that's, what I plan on doing when I'm done fighting is something in that industry. So I just thought it was a good idea. I'm partnered with treatment centers for mental health and for addiction. So trying to get people help people and, try to inspire people to live a better life. So.
Very well said. Jared, thank you so much for your time as always. Always good catching up. Even better to see you back in action. And I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to catching up with you after the victory.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it.